is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Get your masks ready if you don't have them already. In just days, they'll be mandatory all across the state of Indiana. We'll have an inside look at Governor Holcomb's executive order coming up right here on the News at Noon. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by from home this midday. Todd, what can we expect in the forecast as we're heading out the door for our lunch hour?
You know, the forecast much better here going forward this afternoon than it was this morning, Lauren. We started off with all that humidity, a few showers, and also all those clouds. Those clouds have now thinned out, and we are going to be enjoying partly cloudy skies from this point forward throughout the remainder of the day. That is the good news. A live look outside right now, and you can see just a few fair weather cumulus clouds out there. Temperature-wise, we are climbing into the 70s and 80s right now. 82 in Indy, 81 in Bloomington, 80 is the current temperature up in Peru. A little cooler off to the east at 78, where they're still dealing with a few lingering clouds from Richmond down towards Greensburg and into the Seymour area. But you can see all the skies that have cleared here off to the north. So not only are we clearing the skies out, we are also dropping the humidity. We're never going to completely get rid of it here throughout the day today, but it's going to be definitely down from where it has been the past few days. So I do think it'll be noticeable as far as temperatures go. About 85 the high, which is exactly what our average high temperature is this time of year. So we work our way into the course of the afternoon and evening. Mostly sunny skies by 8 p.m. then into the 70s by 10 p.m. Sets us up for a nice Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. More on that, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, if you don't yet have a face mask to wear in public, the clock is ticking and you'll need to get one. Governor Holcomb is signing an executive order mandating that masks be worn by Hoosiers in public in an effort to slow the spread and slow the spike of COVID-19 cases. The statewide order takes effect this Monday. It applies to everyone over the age of 8 while inside public places. That includes stores and restaurants, as well as out on public transportation, or even if you're outside in a setting where social distancing is not possible. Critics of masks have said that one problem with them is that it feels more difficult to breathe while you're wearing one, right? Well, one of the state's top doctors says that's not exactly true.
That doesn't matter if it's a cloth mask or an N95 or an N95 with a mask over the top. You can breathe in and out with those just like you can without one on. So no worries about toxins. No worries about carbon dioxide retention. Some of the smartest people in the world wear masks all day for their jobs.
The governor says the order was necessary because the state now has a record high 7-day average of new coronavirus cases. And that number is only going up based on the latest stats issued by the State Department of Health today. Indiana reported 953 new COVID-19 infections. That's the most new cases reported in one day since the pandemic began. The 7-day moving average also set another record today at 793. Indiana also reported 17 new deaths, bringing the state just shy of the 2,700 mark. Well, Marion County has seen a dramatic increase in COVID-19 cases, leading the way for the rest of Indiana. Later today, Mayor Joe Hogg said we'll give an update on the country's reopening plan and whether or not that could be scaled back. The mayor will be joined in the news conference by Dr. Virginia Kane, the director of the Marion County Public Health Department. It's scheduled for 3:30 this afternoon, and you can watch that live here on the IndyChannel.com and also on the RTV6 Facebook page. As COVID-19 cases and deaths rise across the country, many other states put in the mask mandates ahead of Indiana. President Trump is now in favor of wearing masks after being against wearing them in the earlier months. ABC's Inez de la Cotera tells us that the change comes as Congress debates on how to help Americans as our economy continues to struggle.
This morning, an internal FEMA memo obtained by ABC News showing the number of Americans dying from COVID-19 in the last week is up 12.3% compared to the previous week. In Houston, these two young brothers suffering a devastating loss, with both of their parents dying from COVID in the space of 2 weeks.
I didn't get to say goodbye to my mom or my dad now, and that's what hurts me the most.
Cases still surging in many parts of the country. Washington state seeing a 25.5% increase, the spread largely driven by young people aged 20 to 29. At least 9 states setting new records for hospitalizations.
COVID-19 appears to be on track to becoming one of the leading causes of death in LA County.
Lines continue to stretch for miles at COVID testing sites from Texas to California and Florida. A growing number of governors now implementing statewide mandatory mask mandates.
If you love the president, join him, be patriotic, and wear a mask. If you don't like the president, then just wear a mask to spite him.
Infections around the world also surging. Trends on infections from the World Health Organization suggesting there could be another 1 million new cases globally in just the next 4 to 5 days. As for a possible vaccine,
it's going to be the first part of next year before we start seeing people getting vaccinated.
Meanwhile, weekly unemployment numbers in the U.S. rising for the first time in more than 3 months. New data released this morning shows an additional 1.4 million Americans filed jobless claims last week.
We really need help these times. It's very hard. It's not easy.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill now racing to pass a new stimulus package before the CARES Act expires at the end of the month. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Unemployment claims were up nationally, but here in Indiana it was not the case last week. The Department of Labor says more than 17,000 Hoosiers applied for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. That's still well above pre-pandemic levels of claims, but it's a drop of almost 11,000 from the previous week. Despite that, the new claims push Indiana past the 900,000 mark since the pandemic layoffs began 18 weeks ago. For perspective, that's more than 4 times the number that applied for unemployment benefits for all of 2019. During this pandemic, searching for a job may seem like an impossible task. So that's why RTV6 and the Indiana Black Expo are teaming up to bring you this virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair. It's 1 week from today, next Thursday, July 30th, from noon until 4 p.m. Quality employers are coming together to help you take next steps in your career, and immediate job openings are available right now. To get connected, you can visit indianablackexpo.com. Well, are you worried about your child wearing their mask right when they go back to school? Next, we'll have some tips on how to make sure that children are following all the new safety rules that are part of this new normal. Todd.
And Lauren, we started off with lots of clouds here across central Indiana, but as the day progresses, we'll continue to see more and more in the way of sunshine. That is the good news in this forecast. And now that we've gotten into the sunshine, we're going to keep it all the way into the weekend. How's that sound? We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast when the news at noon continues right here on RTV6.
School is about to start for some students, while others have a little bit of extra time off as school districts are putting in more safety measures. So as a parent, you may be wondering or worried about whether your child will wear their mask and follow other safety protocols while they're in school. Amber Strong with our partners at Newsy has a little bit more on how to teach your kids to be safe and practice those safe habits before they head back to the classroom.
As if parenting wasn't challenging enough, the coronavirus pandemic has raised about 1,000 new unprecedented questions on everything from family to home to finances to health. We asked the experts, how do I teach kids to wear masks and social distance when they're in school?
Wearing masks and social distancing in schools is going to become a new norm, at least for a while, and it needs to be something that's just as important as any other school rule. So you can also try many different masks. Some may feel uncomfortable and some may feel better to your child. So don't try to force one particular mask.
Trying to practice at home what they're going to be doing at school, and then making sure that you explain the reasons why this is really important to social distance, especially now. And kids are smart. They'll understand if you can break it down to their level that, hey, you're not supposed to, during this time, go hug your friends or be as close to your friends as you want to be, because we want to keep them safe.
Well, they serve their country, but is the country holding up its end of the deal? Next, complaints against a veteran's home that some say isn't taking COVID-19 seriously enough. Let's take a live look outside. This is our Weather Now camera here overlooking the Circle City. Some white puffy clouds out there. Blue skies, a pretty nice Thursday in the forecast. We'll check in with Todd Clausen, see what we can expect for the rest of our day and look ahead to your weekend. That's all coming up here on the News at Noon. Stay with us. Well, he served our country honorably, and now some are concerned about the health and safety of people at the Indiana Veterans Home, a nursing home located in West Lafayette. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny spoke with a woman who just lost her father at this facility, as well as a state lawmaker who both say that the facility needs to do more COVID-19 testing.
Many nursing homes are privately owned, but the Indiana Veterans Home in West Lafayette is owned by the state of Indiana government, which some say makes their quality ratings even more concerning.
David Scrimshire served in the Navy and Air Force Reserve. After a series of strokes, he became a resident at the Indiana Veterans Home in West Lafayette, a long-term care facility with more than 160 residents. IVH is the best choice for Hoosier veterans and their spouses, according to their website. But David's daughter, Danielle Sabatini, has her doubts. Her father became sick on June 14th.
And they told me he had a fever of almost 102 and that his heart rate and blood pressure were elevated.
David died the next day at the age of 71.
Never was there a mention of potential COVID, no testing, nothing at all, zero.
An email from the Veterans Home shows her dad was never tested for COVID-19. His death certificate lists coronary artery disease and diabetes as the cause of death. Call 6 Investigates did some checking and found the Indiana Veterans Home has an overall 2-star below average rating on Medicare's Nursing Home Compare site. And when it comes to quality measures or how well the residents are cared for, the Indiana Veterans Home has only 1 star, the lowest ranking possible, something Danielle had no idea about.
I believe I had my dad put there, but yeah, I think they're hiding stuff or not doing stuff for their patients.
I was shocked and devastated.
A state lawmaker, Carly Macer, serves on the Veterans Commission and works in the healthcare industry.
It scared me because when I also heard that there were no COVID cases with quality measures of a 1 and an overall rating of a 2, I thought, how is this possible? Are we testing the residents? Are we testing the staff? Because that is a really big part of our business.
The Indiana Veterans Home is currently allowing visitors.
The urgency that we should have about this is at the top for me. We want to make sure everyone's safe, and it's just the right thing to do.
We reached out to the Indiana Veterans Home, who told us they've tested residents who've shown signs or symptoms of COVID-19. So far, they've tested 32 residents and all 185 staff members. 1 employee did test positive. Staff at the IVH took immediate and protective measures to ensure neither a resident nor staff member at the IVH came in contact with that person. Per guidelines from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, that person quarantined for 14 days. We also asked the Indiana Veterans Home about their below average ratings, including overall 2 stars. They told us this is not an acceptable rating. Along with COVID-19 prevention, the improvement of the overall and individual rating for the IVH is top priority. These scores are cumulative over a 3-year period, so it will take some time to impact and see change happen. Representative Macer says veterans and their families deserve better.
And I think that they would be shocked and really disappointed to know that the facility that their family is staying in, it has the lowest quality measures and overall rating just about that you can get.
Danielle is grieving the loss of her father, David.
He knows I have a voice and I'm going to use it. So I think he'd be proud of me for standing up for him.
She's urging the Indiana Veterans Home to expand its COVID-19 testing of residents and improve how it cares for those who served our country and their spouses.
And I will not be silent about this. I want to stand up for the veterans, for my dad, and for everybody else.
The Indiana Veterans Home is looking for a new superintendent, but they say the process is taking longer because of COVID-19 restrictions. Reporting at the State House, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara, thank you so much. Let's take a turn right now to our forecast, and Todd Clausen standing by from home. Todd, we showed earlier before break a beautiful shot from our tower camera of some light white puffy clouds out there in the skies and some blue skies. So it's a pretty nice Thursday, right?
It's turned into a very nice Thursday for us, Lauren, and it's going to continue to get even better because the humidity that is slowly going to continue to drop across the area. And for most of us, the rain has come out of the forecast. We leave a 20% chance in there just for far southern and eastern locations here this afternoon. And that would just be for a quick passing shower, and that is it. Friday and Saturday are dry. And then on Sunday, it's about a 20% chance of a storm popping up in the afternoon hours. So we're entering a pretty nice stretch of weather, and the timing is perfect with it being Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The best storm chances return to the forecast on Monday. Here's the view Lauren was talking about as you look off past One America Tower, and you just see those cumulus clouds building. These clouds, unlike the past couple days, should not produce much in the way of any rainfall here going forward throughout the afternoon hours. And I mentioned the humidity. If you were up and out the door early this morning, it was really, really high. It has come down quite a bit and will continue to drop here throughout the afternoon hours. You notice a little bit of cloud cover here still from Richmond down towards Seymour, and this is the area that I have circled that there's the potential this afternoon of a quick passing shower, but that should be just about it. You notice the skies have cleared here up to the north. So going forward in this forecast, we'll just keep it partly cloudy. As far as temperatures go, we are in the 70s and 80s at this hour, right at 80 degrees in Richmond and Greencastle, 81 in Martinsville, Bloomington currently at 82 degrees. The dew points will hold pretty steady and then drop throughout the overnight hours back down into the low 60s. Tomorrow morning, we may have to look at a little bit in the way of potentially some patchy fog again in some areas, but we'll keep an eye on that for you and let you know in the morning. It's not a guarantee that it's going to form. Highs today will be up into the 80s all across the area, about 82 in Peru, 85 in Indy as well as Bloomington. Here's some more hometowns for you, about 81 in Logansport, 83 in Crawfordsville as well as Muncie. Highs to the south today, 85 in Bloomington. A few locations could get up to that 86, 87 degree mark. Then around the metro area, highs generally right around that 85 degree number. Tomorrow, we start off in the 60s. Again, a little bit of patchy fog possible, but it's a great day for us. The humidity is in check. The wind is light. Temperatures back up into the low to mid 80s. Looking ahead to the weekend, we do crank the temperatures up a little bit. Highs will be near 90. Saturday's mostly sunny. I mentioned Sunday, the chance of that isolated storm in the afternoon, but otherwise a really, really nice day. Monday and Tuesday, temperatures in the 80s with the additional cloud cover and the chance of storms. And then 82 degrees for your high temperature on the Wednesday. So thankfully, Lauren, the past couple days, we've had those daily storms popping up. I think we're in pretty good shape here for the next couple days.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Still ahead here on the News at Noon. It's a tradition that goes back more than a century, but now it's on hold. But that's not exactly what you might read online. We'll explain next on the News at Noon. You're watching RTV6. Welcome back. So you may have already heard that one of the oldest rivalries in college football will be interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Wabash College and DePaul University will not play any sports this fall. It also means there will not be a Monon Bell game this year. The two teams have met 126 times since 1890. The postponement means that DePaul will keep the Monon Bell for an extra year following their 17-13 win over the Little Giants last November. So this game is known for pranks between the two schools, of course, including many attempts to steal the Monon Bell. But someone from DePaul is already having a little bit of fun. If you check the Wikipedia page for the Monon Bell rivalry, you can see that someone has updated it to show that DePaul won this year's game, even though the game isn't happening, by a fictional score of 54-0. Gotta love a good rivalry, Todd.
That's pretty funny. They were quick on the draw there, no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Outside right now, skies are partly cloudy, Lauren, and temperatures are going to be in the mid-80s here throughout the afternoon hours. Rain chances are pretty much done for the day with the exception of to the far south and east. Tomorrow's a great day, right back up to 85 degrees, partly cloudy skies, a little warmer over the weekend with mostly sunny skies, a little more humidity Saturday and Sunday as well. And as we work our way into Monday and Tuesday, that'll be the next best chance to see more widespread storm coverage across the area. But as for the rest of the next couple days, get out there and enjoy it. The timing's perfect for the weekend.
Todd, thank you. Thank you for joining us and making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you come back tonight. Join us for the news at 5. Get outside and have a great Thursday afternoon.